Hello and welcome to the second edition of our special series commemorating the 95th anniversary of the Chinese Communist Party. I'm standing in front of the main gate of the Shanghai International Studies University, which was first established as the Shanghai Russian School in 1949 upon the founding of the PRC. It seems the development of this university somehow reflects the history of the PRC and also the process of China's integration with the rest of the world. Up next, I'm going to talk to Professor Jiang Feng, the party secretary of the university's CPC committee. Is he a symbol of ideology or a symbol of cultural diversity? Up next, I'm going to take you guys on a journey of rediscovery to find out how young students here look at the issue of internationalizing the Communist Party, the biggest ruling party in the world, and how to look at the issue of educational reform. Welcome to Dialogue, Professor Jiang.
Thank you very much.
A glance at the founding history of the Shanghai International Studies University, we immediately recognized that with the recognition by the former Soviet Union, our school was called the Shanghai Russian School. Now, how do you relate the history of CSU, Shanghai International Studies University, to the development of China? Because this is, after all, a process of China's integration with the rest of the world.
Actually, that is a very interesting observation. You see, only 2 months after the establishment of the People's Republic of China, the Shanghai Russian School was established. That is the predecessor of Shanghai International Studies University. And so at the very beginning of the new People's Republic of China, it has a great international dimension, and the Communist Party attached great importance to international issues. And at the beginning, there are a lot of Russian experts and expertise who come to China to help build the country. And there is a strong need for language assistance.
Many questions arose as a result of Minister Yuan, the Minister of Education's recent remarks about the Western values and their impact upon the universities. He said universal values must be rejected. That caused a lot of debates. How do you look at the remarks by him, and do you think this really means that the ideology of communism will definitely and decisively shape the thoughts and minds of the young students here?
I think international civilization, the world civilization, has played always a very important role in higher education in China. And for example, when you are a graduate from the Shanghai International Studies University, me too. And
in the 1980s, I mean, that was compared to a period of China's Enlightenment movement. Bookstores were inundated with Western books about philosophy, history. What else could you mention about those big names?
So, for example, Schopenhauer, Kant, Hegel, and other philosophers, and existentialism, the French, Camus, Sartre, and so on. We have read a lot, and they play even today a very important role in university life. And for example, Karl Marx.
Marxism came from the West.
From the West.
Leninism came from West.
As we have discussed, and the Communist Party of China is from the very beginning very international, and many leading members of the party have studied and lived in Western world, and especially in Europe. And also the founder of this university, Marshal Chen Yi, for example, studied in France, and the party secretary of this university was also a very known scholar and party member for international politics, and he himself is also a translator. So you see, and this party, the Communist Party, is, in my understanding, at the very beginning already international.
You served as the Minister Counselor in Germany. As a representative of the Ministry of Education for years. What kind of things we can learn or inspirations we can draw from the German way of education in terms of elites?
And the elites are not only those people who have money, who have studied, who have done excellent research or who have a very outstanding social position or power. And elite is, for my understanding, really those people who take more responsibility, not only for our own country, but also really for human beings, for the mankind. And if we can learn something from Germany, for example, even in the field of vocational training, they are also elites. They are workers, qualified workers, and they do a lot of innovative works, and they make a great contribution to the development of industry and of the society.
Now, many of our graduates from the Shanghai International Studies Universities choose to go abroad for further academic study. Walter Lippmann, the most famous columnist in the United States in the wake of the Cold War, said, those who studied in Europe, he was talking about the communist leadership. Those core members of the first generation of the communist leadership who went to Europe and studied there would definitely change the future of China. He made the remarks in the Cold War. Deng Xiaoping, of course, played a pivotal role in engineering the process of modernization. Do you think something similar is likely to happen with the more brilliant students coming back?
The young Chinese return to China, they have changed the country in a way to, that the country more stronger, more interdependent, more, I would like also to see more free. And so they have changed it. And they will change the country further, I think. And so they learned a lot from the advanced technology and also advanced management experiences, and even also other experiences. And they bring that back and very much rooted in the reality of China. And they combine these different elements. And I think, and in this way, they will make a great contribution and to have a better future, and even for the country, for themselves.
Thank you, Professor Jiang.
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much. Yeah.
Welcome back. To follow up my discussion with Dr. Jiang Feng, who is concurrently Party Secretary of the University's CPC Committee, about the role of the party in education reform, and particularly the internationalization of this biggest ruling party in the world, I would love to talk to a group of young students from the same university. 30 years on after I graduated from this university, great changes have taken place. I'd like to know your idea about China Dream, because this year marks the 95th anniversary of the Chinese Communist Party. Are you ready to share with our viewers about your perception of China Dream, particularly, with the dynamics of the post-90s, because all of you were born in the 90s. My first question goes to this gentleman. Are you ready to work for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs? I was told that you're going to work for this most important organization of the government.
I have to say that working in the Chinese Foreign Ministry is one of my dreams, and I'm lucky to be accepted by this ministry. I think
does it matter for you to be, first of all, a party member so that you can get the better chance of being promoted and being sent to a good place like the United States?
Well, I do not think it is necessary to be a party member that then you can be recruited to this ministry. But I do think that being a member of the party will help you in your work. But this kind of...
In what way do you think it will be helpful?
Well, I think it will help you in both external and internal way. In external way, it means that it will provide you with more opportunities to meet with more people, and you have the chance to go to different places, which, for example, these places are renowned for their history, for their social development.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Many people would be very skeptical about the privileges of being a party member, because what you say suggests clearly that being a party member, you are privileged to communicate with those in other countries. Is that true?
Well, I think this is kind of misinterpretation. I think it is not kind of privilege. For example, if you are accepted by...
It's honor and you are trusted more by the employer?
Yeah, it means that you are recognized by others in different aspects. For example, academic achievement, personal ability, social skills, and many others.
But I'm afraid you have mixed up the political qualifications, the membership of the party, with something that your new profession may demand.
For example, the loyalty to the party and to our country, what is required for being a diplomat.
Do you think loyalty to the party is the same with the loyalty to the nation and the people?
Well, I think the loyalty to the party includes the loyalty to our country.
Do you guys agree with her?
I am preparing to be a part of CPA now, and I have actually interviewed a lot of old party members, and from them you can see that actually loyalty to the country includes the loyalty to the party.
Young people love to express their opinions freely, but being a party member means you have to act very cautiously.
Sorry, maybe I have a different opinion, since I think that the freedom is always based on the rules. And actually it is not a requirement for the party members, it is also a requirement for all the citizens of the China. And I think everything has its limitation, and only in this limitation we can do we can get development and do something successfully.
When you made your vows in front of the party's flag as part of the ceremony, you are required to say, I would rather sacrifice my life instead of betraying the party, right? That's the last sentence of your vows. Do you actually accept this as an important principle?
Actually, we post the 1990s generation are considered as selfish, brain damage, and we will consider our family and friends before our party. But as party members, it is our responsibility to sacrifice and devote ourselves to our nation.
Personally speaking, I think China is a collectivism-oriented country. My interpretation to the last sentence of this vote is that a sound development of the society is the prerequisite of the individual development, and also likewise, only when individuals contribute ourselves to the development of the society can the society got a sound development.
She's got a very interesting point about the relationship between personal interest and the collective interest. Now, since life is a matter of choice, when serious clashes take place between your personal hobby, personal interest, and the interest of the collective organization, what would be your first choice?
I think the collective interest would be my first choice. I remember when I have the TOEFL test, and the same day I have to organize an activity for my schoolmate. So I have to put my TOEFL test behind my organization of this activity. I think it's our choice to be the member of the party.
And I want to add some points. I want to share my experience in the People's Liberation Army. You know, as a soldier, it is...
How long did you serve in the army?
In 2 years. 2 years.
2 years.
Yes. You know, as a soldier, I think all soldiers, you know, in all countries, they have to sacrifice their own interests. I think in many cases, and I sometimes ask myself why I should do these things. Well, now I understand that everybody in this society, they are not an isolated island. They are connected with everybody. So this connection makes that everybody has some thought of responsibility towards each other. So I think there is not necessarily a collision between self and the society. And if there is a collision between these two things, I think I wish I could have the courage to put the collective interest at the first place.
So much for the serious discussion about the serious issues. Let's talk about your choice of the career now. People are obsessedly concerned about losing job. I mean, the moment they graduate, they will become jobless. That's what we call the 毕业即失业, right? So. What would be your dream job?
You know, I think a job which can embody our value and make us enjoyable. I think it is a kind of good job for everybody.
And your choice?
I agree with him very much, and I think an ideal job is that you can realize yourself and actualize your value. And personally speaking, for me, I think my dream job is to work in an entrepreneur instead of starting my own business immediately after graduation.
Excuse me, I'm afraid you are talking smart about your dream, since young people, from my perspective, are becoming very practical, since they have to survive the brutal competitions. They have to have a bread and butter, they have to buy their property, their automobile, you know, their concerns are very practical. But you guys
Sorry,
were
Ray,
talking smart about the
I have to
values.
interrupt you because I think you are this kind of old times. Yes. Yeah, you are worried about your houses, your material things.
But your
actually,
boyfriend would be very demanding,
no,
okay, if you don't have such
actually,
properties.
at our generation,
Because we are living in the age of consumerism and materialism, you got to be very practical.
No. Just like at our generation, we have all material things, and maybe we have to need some money to make our life better than what we have, but we are not so concerned about our lives. But before, like in your generation, you have to worry about where I live, what I have to eat. Maybe I lose my job today, tomorrow I can't find a better one. But that is impossible.
Let me
today,
challenge your argument. You have been living in the ivory tower for up to 4 years. You don't know how brutal life could be outside the campus, and therefore her understatement suggests clearly that to work so hard doesn't mean you could lead a decent life. You have to marry someone who has a very good economic guarantees.
That's old-fashioned. That's
old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a very
Maybe for the
affluent
post-90
family.
generation, the freedom is more important than the wealth position or something else. Yeah, I have just one example to add. At our generation, maybe our first choice is not to find a stable work. Maybe we are to find a work that we love.
I started my student years in the Shanghai International Studies University in the early 1980s, when most of us were required to make contributions to the country. In the words of JFK, John Kennedy, don't ask what the country can do for you, but ask what you can do for the country. It means we are ready to work for the country in the first place. But today, younger people may no longer think so and think smart in this way. Do you believe, as party members, you are different? I mean, you are different from those who are characterized by such words like selfish, aggressive, individualistic. Are there any differences between those who study in this university in the 80s and those in the 21st century?
Yeah, I'd like to say that the post-19 generations, like us, we are more like aggressive maybe, but I don't think it's a bad word, because I think being aggressive can drive us to progress, to make some progress. And just remember that as the movement of the new culture movement happened on 1919, May the 4th, the new generation, they could also be viewed as hopeless maybe, but it is the generation that changed our country.
The differences, if any, between those who study in the 80s and those who, like you guys, study in the 21st century as members of the post-90s, are there any serious differences, first of all?
We are more open than them, than the past generations.
Excuse me, are you saying you are more open than me? Why? Why?
We go to foreign countries earlier than yours, and we have more opportunities to communicate with foreigners than our past generations did. Are you agree with that? I think that one thing never changed is that the students in this international university always do the work like to contribute to our own country, but in a different way. Maybe in your generation we have to go to the democracy or to do some foreign affairs to make our contribution. But now, like Shuhui just said, we have more opportunities to get in touch with the foreigners, especially the foreign young people like us. They are the generation to make the change.
With the internet in particular, you can have more opportunities to come to terms with those from different cultures.
Yes, from
is that
the
a matter of using social media?
Yes, I have
because you
quite
are
a
described
good.
as tech savvy, right? Computer savvy.
Sorry, I have a quite good example actually. We are now during a Facebook account, it is called China News. And it is mainly we want to express to the world what really China, the young people in China is, and what we are interested in. And actually, we have a lot of fans. Like we started this account at April, I think. Yeah. Now we have the likes from 37 to 38 countries. So it is a good example, and of course the account doesn't being so political, but we also discuss political issues, but we show them what real China is.
I think I also have a very good example. Since in my university years, I just work in student organizations, and we will send volunteers to other countries every year. And I think a lot of our university students just get involved in those programs. And I think this is a face-to-face process to show the foreigners what our Chinese young people look like, how do we think, and from us, I think they can have the new ideas of what China is.
Yes, I think our generation is more free, take more freedom in speak, in express. We talk about the politics, we talk about everything with foreign people, but we want to show to the world is a more comprehensive, a more objective imaging of what we are thinking about our nation and our generation. So we are more free to talk with them and to communicate in those thoughts.
Maybe you grew up in Shanghai as the equivalent of a New Yorker, so you have developed a sense of superiority, more confidence in facing up to some of the tough questions, such as freedom of speech. You are different from others in your class.
How could it be a superiority? It is not like privilege or something else in compare with other generation. I think it's a common characteristics of my generation that we are more receptive to different comments and criticisms even, and we can be more critical and think about what others think about Chinese.
Well, that's a very
but to some
point.
extent, I agree with Ray that our generation, well, they do not feel comfortable when talking about politics. But I think it has something to do with politics shows us about negative images, and for example corruption, injustice, things like that. So sometimes we are not comfortable.
But it's prevalent in all the world, I think. Sorry, I don't agree with him because my major is German, and as a German developed country, you can know that there is a saying that if a country's young people don't care about this country's politics, and this country is hopeless.
We all have our own version about China Dream. But previously, those who follow the advocacy for having a China Dream from outside China say, hey, your top leader was talking about the dream of the nation. But then increasingly, young people say, no, what we call China Dream is actually the dream of individuals, not the dream of a whole nation. Very quickly, can you brief our viewers about your version of China Dream for you personally?
Well, for me, I think to realize my Chinese dream, first I should realize my own value to the society. That means I can realize my career dream. I'd like to be a financial practitioner in China, since the development of China's financial market is not as well functioned as the market of America.
But Professor Chen Zhiwu from Yale University said in his counter-argument that they would no longer recruit any brilliant Chinese students for the financial department. You know why? Because they prefer to be a practitioner instead of a researcher who is ready to be confined to the ivory tower of academic research. They want to make money. They are hungry for money, for cash, and they live under huge pressure from the family to make quick money. Is that your dream?
No.
Is that your version of China Dream?
No, not exactly. My dream is to help the financial market of China to become well-functioned.
Okay. What's your version about China Dream?
My dream is to be a good person, to influence the people around me, to give them positive power, just like China, to give positive power to all the world.
You mean you're going to be a priest of a religion? You want to be a good person to exert your influence on others by spreading your belief?
I will spreading this positive power by my action, not by doctrine or something, to say to us not imposing in us, in others.
I think my basic Chinese dream should be the country should be a shield for me, for my family and other people. And in last semester, I went to the Europe for study, and I was terrified by the unrest situation caused by refugees and terrorists. At that time, I'm so badly hope I could get back to my homeland. So at that time, I realized there a powerful and a steady, peaceful homeland is the precondition of my life.
I think the China dream is consisted by all the different dreams of the people. And actually, maybe we go to a factory and we ask a worker, what's your Chinese dream? So he will find that it is very far from his life, actually. But maybe he just have a dream that he can get his salary on time and he can make a better life for his family. But actually, each of these simple dreams consists of the dream of our country. I think this is just like a power to push our country to develop.
My Chinese dream is just a sentence. I can be in 10 years or 20 years or end of my life, I can say that I have been the change I want to see in the future.
Chinese dream consists of individual dreams. If I say I want to make this country stronger, this idea is too hollow. So as for now, my Chinese dream is be a qualified student, be a qualified daughter to my family, and be a qualified citizen.
Okay, right. I think when we're talking about Chinese dream, it certainly has something with China. That means the national level. From the historical perspective, China, in the past maybe 100 years has experienced a sad story, this bloody story. So I think when we talking about Chinese dream, I think this country need to re-establish its own position in the international society. This is the first level, and the second level is about Chinese people. So I think Chinese dream, it will provide opportunities for every Chinese citizen so that they can realize their own dream.
Guys, don't you think being able to sit together and share your understanding about China dream is part of China dream?
Yeah.
In this afternoon full of sunshine.
Yeah.
So let's say together, yes we can, okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Yes, we can. Thank you for being this part of China story. I love you guys.